And welcome to the halftime show brought to you by Rick Hendricks Chevrolet Duluth. I'm Kaylee Mansell with special guest public information officer here in Rome, Georgia. It is Doug Walker. Now, Doug, can you fill me in a little bit on what are your responsibilities being public information officer?
Well, public information officer, I respond to queries from the media, both print and broadcast. Most recently, I got a call last week from a TV station in Birmingham and spent my Friday drive home talking with a producer there about PFAS.
And speaking of media, you spent time as the associate editor of the Rome News Tribune here. So talk a little bit about your time there and how it really connected you to the community.
Well, that was 12 years at the Rome News Tribune. I'm a people person. I like to think I'm a people person.
You don't say.
and I enjoy getting out with folks, and I've just always been involved with the community in terms of covering the community. Before I was with the newspaper, I was with the local radio station group as a news director for about 25 years. And, you know, I'm not one of those guys that sits in an office when a story happens. I actually go out there to it. And I like to get involved and like to meet people.
And with that, I am going to put you on the spot because I know you have background in newspaper and radio. So right now, I need you to come up with a headline on the spot for Georgia Elite Classic being held in Rome, Georgia. But I need you to do it in your radio voice.
Oh, in the radio voice? Okay. That would be Commissioner Randy Quick would be better for that. But I would say welcome to Rome, Georgia, 400 of the top young athletes in the state.
That's awesome. And now, for the last one, we touched on this all day long, but I really just want to take time to highlight some of the tourist attractions that we do have here in Rome. So if you had to bring someone along with you for the day that's never been to Rome, what would you take them to do?
We got to move now.
That is a tough question, but I think I would take them to Chieftain's Museum, which was the home of the Cherokee Major Ridge. I think Rome has a rich Native American history, and that story probably doesn't get told as completely, certainly, as it could be. Major Ridge would have been the chief of the Cherokee, but he could not speak English, so he ceded that to John Ross. And he and Ross, you know, I was in Rome 20 years before I realized that Ridge lived on one side of the Oostenaula River and Ross lived on the other. So while Calhoun and New Echota gets credit for the capital of the Cherokee Nation, all of the power was here in Rome.
Well, I think it's funny that for about 30 seconds there, you kept that radio voice, and then I heard you transition back into that. But I agree with you. I've been to the museum before. I do think it's a great attraction here that doesn't get enough attention. Doug, thank you so much for coming on. It's really been my honor. Guys, make sure to stay tuned. We've got more coming back up right after the break.